Welcome to the CAD Builder video tutorial series. This video will focus on front joints relevant for framed and frameless cabinets. We will begin with framed cabinets. There are two categories that deal with face frame joinery: face frame joints for frame-to-frame connections and face frame to case joints for frame-to-box joints. The most common face frame joint is the pocket screw, so let's create one and assign it. We will use the pocket hole template and create face frame pocket holes. We will leave the hole parameters at the default, but change end pocket hole center position to minimum distance of 3/4 inch and pocket hole center quantity to a static quantity of 2. We will also change pocket hole screw to assign 1.5 inch pocket screws. Now we head back to the construction method and access the joint defaults. Let's select Default Face Frame Parts Joint and assign the pocket hole screw we made so that it applies to all frame-to-frame joints by default. Next, we must check the connections and pick what extends to adjacent parts, beginning with end rails to end stiles. We can either have full rails, full stiles, or miters. We will pick full stiles and can skip the connection selection since the default is assigned. Top rails can be split by mid-stiles, but we will leave it at the default. The same for bottom rail. We will keep it in one piece by stopping the mid-stile at bottom rail, using a pocket screw joint here too. Mid-rail to end stile is left as found to have full stiles, and mid-rail to mid-stile can be set to either have full mid-stiles or full mid-rails. We will stay with full mid-stiles. Once we assign the construction method, we can see the pocket screw connections between face frame parts. The next framed front joint category is face frame to case joints. Here we pick how box parts like top, bottom, sides, as well as interior elements like shelves and partitions are joined to the frame. As before, there are many ways to handle this, but for the construction method we are using in this, we will make the sides dado into the frame and all the other parts butt jointed except for mitered finished ends. Let's create the dado joint by going to the connection section and copying the dado template. We are naming this one Frame Side Dado, and its settings will be left as default except for Extend Dado Notch, which we will change to Extend to Edge past the tenon, and Dado Depth set to a fixed depth of 1/4 inch. Back to the construction method, we will leave the default face frame to case joint at none, since most are butt jointed to the frame. Then we go to the frame finished side and leave it to miter, so that the seam is hidden on the finished ends. Frame finished side for clipped frame can be set to have the side mitered to the back of the frame or to the side of the stile. Frame unfinished side we leave to connect side to frame and assign the frame side dado. We will repeat this for the frame subside so that the covered subside is dadoed in as well. All the other joints we leave as none and default joint so that they are butt jointed to the frame. Once joints are assigned, we can view the result directly in the wireframe editor. Let's switch focus to the frameless analog of front joints. There are no face frame connections to deal with, but frameless cabinets have their own special joints to set under the front to case joints category. Most of these deal with how the plane panel connects to adjacent pieces like sides, tops, and bottoms. For instance, if we want the plane panel to be dadoed in by the sides or to dado into the sides if the panel is inset, we can select the plane panel unfinished side joint, assign the trial through dado connection in the connection selection menu, and you'll be able to see the joint in action. Switching the plane panel to inset will of course switch which piece hosts the groove and which hosts the tenon. The final 5 parameters in this category configure how diagonal corner and angled end cabinets handle the side to front transition. For instance, in finished side for diagonal corner cabinet, we can pick to miter the side for an overlaid front or not to miter it for partial inset setups. The same applies to unfinished and subsides for diagonal corner cabinets. Angled end cabinets can have their backs set to be mitered or unmitered for the same purposes. Pick these settings for both finished and unfinished backs. This concludes the front cabinet connections for framed and frameless cabinets. As always, this video is merely an example of the available options and what they can be set to, so we recommend customizing your own methods for your shop. We will explore the other joint categories in future videos. Thank you, and we will see you then. To view additional video tutorials, please visit www.cabbuildersoftware.com/training.